Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies and gents. I'm going to have a little bit of music going in the background, but what I must do right now, and is I must speed up my internet by doing a refresh and a troubleshooting because the thing is showing kilobytes, and I know I'm not at kilobytes because with those type of kilobytes, I would not be able to watch a single video or listen to one, and that's what's playing in the background is one of them audio videos. Audio videos? That's right, it's a department. Ladies, gentlemen, there are a couple of things. I'm gonna take the time, hopefully not a lot of time, to explain that the new QPAC, it is a problem with PayPal. We notified PayPal that they were in breach of our agreement, and then we sent them a notice of default. So PayPal shut down our second account, and no explanation, just shut it down. When we contacted them, they said it was shut down by the legal department. Now, if you know anything about me, those of you who are aware of who I am and what I do, that was the dumbest thing in the world that PayPal could have done. Well, because it's retaliation, and you don't mess with SATCOM. That's the #1 rule, because I take that personally, and I have given my word that I will not allow anybody to cause damage or harm to SATCOM. So PayPal will be taken care of. No, we don't need your help. Some of you are gonna want to help. We don't need your assistance. I got this. So we will be delayed by, and we could have people just deposit money into the bank account for the company, but why would we do that? No, we're gonna get it started when we get the merchant account up. We are hoping that that will be done by the 5th of April. We can't promise anything. It's still gonna say the 31st of March on the site, and so we thought to change that, but the idea was we're going to keep it the same because we need to show that PayPal was intentionally trying to affect our business. That's what PayPal has done. They have shut down individuals' accounts after it's accumulated so much finances. We'd already learned our lesson by watching several other individuals' videos and looking at so many comments about PayPal that this was their routine, this was their habit. We went with PayPal because basically these days you literally have no choice. There are very few selections out there to choose from. And they were claiming that those other companies who they were shutting down were running some illicit business. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not the case. PayPal is there to work with Google and work with government agencies to stifle individuals' creativity, entrepreneurship, and so forth. And this has been going on ever since they came up with that so-called 9/11 terrorist act, known as the Patriot Act. Probably longer, but we do know that it's been going on at least since then. So what are we going to do? We're going to keep moving forward. You see, this has caused a great deal of stress to me, and I woke up this morning realizing that let's just say my health has taken a turn, and it ain't for the better, but the turn was expected. Just wasn't expecting it now, and that's okay. Don't worry about me, I got this. And that's what most of you need to understand. I don't get surprised. I don't allow myself to be surprised by anything, so I prepare myself in advance for everything, including PayPal doing the stupid stuff they did. See, what we did is, the day before PayPal did what they did, I had ordered the funds to be transferred because I didn't want them doing the same thing they did the last time. So they basically saw that we were transferring the funds, and right after we did the transfer, that's when they shut the account down. which was the same time they received the notice of default. I guess that was their response to the notice of default, because all they had to do was respond. And so they responded by retaliating. And, oh, by the way, before they did what they did, the new terms of contract had already been in place. And so the only way they could challenge anything concerning SATCOM, or any of the other organizations that we put together is through arbitration, according to the terms and conditions of the agreement. Oh well. Alright, we just wanted to let you know that that's the situation with SATCOM. Now, let's talk about the situation with SAA. As we said, SATCOM and SAA are not affiliated. SATCOM only provides logistical oversight for SAA. Basically, I said, hey, there needs to be an arbitration association for the people. And so let's do that. Let's put together the organization and bring in people to run it. So we started the SATCOM Arbitration Association. We have literally thrown the individuals who are part of the organization out in the middle of the street and said, okay, you need to find your way home. Oh, and there are no stars, and there's no sun, and there's no north, south, east, or west, but you got to find your way home, and you have 5 minutes. Oh, and you're about 12,000 miles away. Oh, and there's no transportation, no planes. There's no way to get there, but you got to get there. That's what we did to the members of SAA. Hey, the only way you can test a person's fiber is to see how they handle pressure. And I must say, to every ounce and degree, I gotta shut this down. I know what that is. Okay, to every ounce and degree, SAA has handled the pressure. Now, there was a situation that happened in February, and it dealt with PayPal and the interference with our account. So that slowed us down a little bit. Now, that wasn't the time when they shut down the account. That was just the interference. A lot of things weren't going through. A lot of things weren't happening. So we had to get that corrected. Then, shortly after that, and this is only talking about SAA, because they were set up under a completely different account and completely different management system. So we told everybody, we said, hey, we're going to do you all a favor. We're going to mail out your documents for you. The only problem is SAA was not, we didn't spell it out in writing to SAA how that was going to happen. And so we told them that individuals would be marking in the other section that's what they needed, was for SAA to mail out the documents. SAA wasn't trained to look for that particular section. So each one of the documents where individuals needed us to mail it out for them were delayed. Now, we're going to let you know, and this is me telling you exactly what happened. That was a communication issue, and I accept and take full blame. I blame that on myself. Now, it's not that I did not tell it to SAA. It's that it wasn't explained in detail. So what SAA was doing, now here's the thing, everybody's contract got mailed out because that's the policy. What I do is I like to anticipate things. Like I said, I don't like surprises. So what I said at the very beginning of SAA, I said we're going to send out a copy of the contract with every communication, initial communication, to all of the respondents. So a copy of everybody's contract went out to the respondents. The only thing that didn't go out, no, as a matter of fact, they did tell me they were sending out the notice of default, but they were putting in the notification of arbitration because they were thinking that the people had already sent out their contracts to the respondents. So every respondent has received the contract back in early February and March. All of those were taken care of. It's just what we had to do is we had to go back and we had to make sure that the notice of default was proper and that a new notice of arbitration hearing was sent out. So the notice of default has gone out. It's just the arbitration hearing date had to be changed. Sorry, and it's just as confusing as that sounded to you, that's how confusing it was to SAA. We've been talking over the last week and a half about this. Now, here's the other thing. Many people have been wondering why SAA has not been communicating with them. Ladies and gentlemen, if it wasn't for someone, we're not going to say who it was, which agency of the alphabet soup, but if it wasn't for someone interfering with our emails, blocking our emails from coming through and blocking us from having access to our emails for over 3 weeks, everybody would have been responded to. But we literally did not have any access, and we were complaining and saying, hey, what's going on? And we were getting, well, everything is fine on our end. To finally, oh, I see what the problem is. We'll correct that in just a moment. And the problem was corrected in less than 30 minutes. That was 3.5 weeks of email problems so that we couldn't communicate with anybody. Yeah, we know that they don't like it, but we told you guys that this whole arbitration thing, especially with the Supreme Court ruling, was their Achilles heel, was their kryptonite, was their act right juice. So, please, please, please understand that SAA is not ignoring you. SAA is having to fight. And see, we brought in the arbitrators. The arbitrators are not trained to deal with that type of stupidity. That's my forte. But if you guys will see how much junk I have on my plate, I've been trying to handle everything. I spent 7 hours on the phone with the United States Postal Service, online technical support division, even having a supervisor hang up on me, and I wasn't yelling at her. I just said, you're treating this small business like this because we're a small business, but you don't treat the larger businesses like this. Well, we don't. I said, excuse me, but you do. I said, first of all, you said that you were going to communicate back with us. You were going to send us an email. We've not received an email. And you said that your organization said they were going to send an email twice, on Tuesday of this week and on Wednesday of this week. It's now Friday. There's not been a single email. And she hung up on me while I was talking. Yeah, I'm going to let that one go. She's a supervisor. Now, the other supervisor, he did put the notations in regarding that supervisor. And I recorded the call. So eventually, yeah, if I feel like it, if the Postal Service wants me to be, the enemy, but they're not my enemy. What's happening with the Postal Service, we use that to print our labels, to keep everything on the up and up so that we can prove and provide proof of service. Ladies and gentlemen, from this point forward, all SAA, everything they send out, they'll be providing a proof of service showing that they provided service for all the respondents. If anybody needs a proof of service from SAA, all they have to do is communicate that with them, and it will get them that proof of service. Now, hold on. Some people are going to be wanting to ask proof of service every 5 seconds. That ain't no obligation to do that. So the courtesy is the courtesy. Okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and let you know that if it isn't that we're doing the best we can, then we're not doing anything for you at all. And I assure you, the latter is not the case. We are taking care of everything the best we can. For over 3 weeks, the U.S. Postal Service, with their online labeling, and it's called Click and Ship. Don't know why they did that with that tongue twister. But Click and Ship, their online service for certain business credit cards, and it took us a while. Well, technically, I had to figure it out. They didn't figure it out. I figured it out. Because we were using a business credit card, the credit card for the company. And to log into Click and Ship, no, it says everything was going through, and then 5 minutes later, it wouldn't go through. And so this is the problem we were having for 3 weeks, and we were thinking it was something with the way we were programming. Maybe it's because it was one name and it's not the whole name, and so it was causing a problem. So what did we do? Well, we did something and did it the best way we could. We called up the United States Postal Service. We told them what the problem was. They told us that they were aware of the issue and that they were correcting it and that it would only take a couple of minutes, but it was past the hour that the technical support department was open, so they would make sure it got taken care of first thing in the morning and they would email us. That never happened. Now we're finding out that the problem still isn't fixed and they are aware of the problem, but that's handled in Washington and they have to wait for those guys to get back to them and so on and so forth. So it's one of those, we are compartmentalized. We don't oversee that department. They communicate with us what's going on and then we let you guys know. But they haven't even been communicating with us. This is exactly what the supervisor told me. I believed him because he and I were having that conversation, the conversation where he didn't care he was being recorded. He was like, this is what's happening. This is how things are. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm doing, the same thing he did. I'm saying this is what's happening. This is the way things are. And it's not that it's out of our hands. We're doing the best we can to make sure everything runs smoothly. So as of as of Saturday, between Saturday and Friday, 60 specific parcels went out. And I'm told by tomorrow another 40 will be going out. Now that's everything up to now. So SAA is completely caught up with making sure everybody receives their mail. And as we said, all of you who sent in your applications so that service of process would be provided and the contract would be provided, well, all of your contracts have been mailed out prior to, March 15th. Those were going out on a regular basis. They were being taken care of. It's just all of a sudden, at this point, because of all the problems we've been having with the USPS, and trust me, since not this past Saturday, but the Saturday previous, I've been working with USPS to get that taken care of. We've been spending hours, and like I said, it was 7 hours on Friday. This is what we've been doing to make sure everything runs smoothly. We will keep you apprised, keep you abreast. Now, when the account is back up, you'll see a notification on the site. Right now there's no notification on the site because we can't tell you when the account would be back up, and we want to keep everything the way it is until we can redo everything. So just bear with us, keep checking, and stay tuned as we give you more information about this. We'll be doing a video later today, and it will be talking about the SatPack Plus and SatPack Prime, and what's the other one? The Q-Pack. Well, we've already talked about the Q-Pack. SatPack Plus, SatPack Prime, and that wonderful, wonderful SatPack that involves the child support. We'll be doing a video that will be talking about each one of those separately and placing them on the SATCOM website. So take a gander over to the SATCOM YouTube website. And how do I get to the SATCOM YouTube website? What you're going to do is, let's do that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to open up this. This right here is Google Book Downloader, because there's a Google Book I want, and that Google Book is this one right here. Take a look. It's Google Book, and this one talks about Popper's Oath. Popper's Oath? What's a Popper's Oath? Well, he was the Rolling Stone, and so the Popper's Oath is when you say wherever he laid his hat was his home. Okay, that's the Popper's Oath. Just kidding. But this is Google Books talking about the Popper's Oath, and so I want this. So watch this. I'm gonna do this so that you guys, because it's called Google Book Downloader. Copy. I've never used it before. I want to know how to get to the SATCOM website. Hold on now. See this right here? This guy right here. He is talking about trust. I've told you about this young man. His name is Marcus Cleaver. Marcus Cleaver is not a dumb person. Marcus Cleaver is a very intelligent person. Marcus Cleaver knows what Marcus Cleaver is talking about. So I downloaded all of Marcus Cleaver's videos that he has online talking about equity and trust. Equity and trust, you're going to need to know that. If you're a Q-Pack person, look over equity and trust and see why we made your document an equitable agreement and we said that it could only be resolved or confirmed in a court of equity, a court sitting in equity. All right, do that. You'll see what we did for y'all. SATCOMM. Uh-oh. See that? We just put SATCOM. SATCOM. Anyway, SATCOM. This is the SATCOM channel. Okay, this is innocent. I like innocent. Innocent's all right. This is the SATCOM channel. Okay? So, I would take a gander over there to find out the videos, because this one, the original SATPAC and SATPAC 1. Then, this is the SATPAC 2 program, now discontinued, and consists of period. So, pay attention. Watch those so that you can find out about SATCOM. Okay? And their SATPACs. Because a lot of people were asking questions, what does this SATPAC include? What that SATPAC include? Well, that's what those videos are for. But they're updated on this, they're only on the SATCOM site, not on the EeoN site. Okay? They won't be on my site. Those are videos that are dedicated to the SATCOM organization. So they're not on my site. I'm just letting you know they're on that site. And this is how you find it, by clicking on SATCOM. See, it's the first one that came up. SATCOM. It's this character right here. SATCOM. That's what it's about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's 21 minutes and 32 seconds. Let's let all of you have a good day. Have a good day, everyone. Oh, April Fools! Anyway, April, you know what I'm saying. Goodbye, all.